Modern Warfare 3 has been out for a week now, and it's time to give a multiplayer review. Now, we've already been over the campaign. I played it live on stream. Really was one of the biggest letdowns of a campaign in the Call of Duty franchise. But now it's time to talk about Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer. And this game is extremely polarizing. There's some people online who say this is a very good Call of Duty, that Call of Duty's back. It's what Modern Warfare 2 should have been. And I have to disagree very hard with them. I do not agree with any of that state. Right now, if you had to ask me, I would say Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 are about as bad together as they are. Like, they're on that same level of badness, not for the same reasons though. So everybody is trying to claim, oh, well, this game is not as bad as the previous one. This game is essentially an expansion pass of the previous one, so I'm sorry, but it can be just as bad, and right now I do see it that way. There's a lot of choices that have been made in this multiplayer that is just grinding things to a halt for me. I mean, if we want to start off with the biggest of big in the room, is skill-based matchmaking. It does legitimately feel like it is stronger now than it has ever been. It feels like it's stronger than it was in Modern Warfare 2. Now, I don't know if that's because possibly the player count is lower, or if they turn the dial up, if they're trying to get that engagement matchmaking also going to try to get people to buy as many skins and whatnot as they can. But it's just not fun. You hop in and everybody is sweating non-stop. And it's probably also because of the armory system. So if we can shift over to the armory system, for those of you who don't know, in Modern Warfare 3, to unlock a lot of things in the game, you have to legitimately do daily challenges. And once you've completed your 3, at least in multiplayer, the only other way currently to get more points to unlock things is you have to win the match. So if you couple skill-based matchmaking with like the forced requirement to get wins, you're running up against full stacks, you're running up against people who are like high on Adderall or taking as much caffeine as they possibly can. Like, they are literally jump sliding, going as hard as they possibly can. And when I'm over here trying to just grind out the interstellar camo, going up against that is just not what you're in the mood for. Like, there is time to sweat, mainly in ranked, but you know, Call of Duty doesn't accept that anymore. They're trying to just manipulate everybody. But it's not fun to grind the camo. And as the past couple Call of Duties and what I do is the camo grind. So dealing with that, and then the armory system is slowing down the unlocking of everything. I hear it's easier in zombies. If you go in there and get your 3 dailies, you can just sit there and do contracts, and you can do them fairly quickly. But in multiplayer, to get wins, I think it's just unacceptable. They just need to have non-stop rotating daily challenges, like I mentioned in the previous video, where maybe the daily challenges just get a little bit harder in a 24-hour period until they're just very difficult, or they just cycle back to being fresh. Putting those two things together makes for a very, very unfun game. Very unfun. And then, once you're in the game, moving on to number 3, spawns. Spawns are god-awful. They're probably some of the worst spawns I have ever seen. And I know a lot of people have complained about team-based spawns in MW2, but in MW3, Hardpoint is unplayable. Why do I play Hardpoint? Because all the other game modes are slow and boring, and we'll go, you know, an entire domination match, and like the highest kill counter in the entire lobby is maybe 20, including kill streaks, because people will just drop them like it's nobody's business. But I literally have clips on many of the maps where I will spawn, take 3 steps, the enemy spawns behind me, kills me, takes 3 steps, I spawn behind that same person, rinse and repeat, and we would go on a loop for 4 or 5 deaths. It's insane. And I don't know what's going on, because this game, all the maps, well, not anymore, for those you don't know. Now we have Modern Warfare 2 maps, quote unquote, as DLC in MW3. But all the MW2 maps, they should have been able to just go back to MW2, pull the spawn locations, pull the spawn algorithm, and just apply it to here. And I don't understand why they couldn't do that. There has to be something else going on in the background where they just want the system to be different or not. It just doesn't make any sense, because I've been playing 09's Call of Duty MW2 for every year. Like, I've never stopped, and the spawns are not this bad. Can you spawn kill and spawn trap in MW2? Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't like high rise. But I would rather have that than sit here and literally you're spawning on top of each other. It's not because like MW2 there's an enemy player in the area, so like they're spawning on their teammate. No, it's literally like, oh, this is the one spawn point both teams are going to use, at the exact same time, and it just dumps and dumps and dumps. And it's just, it gets to a point where it gets very frustrating and annoying. The only thing I can think of to possibly fix this until Sledgehammer does is we need to see if sentry guns can block spawns, if equipment can block spawns, and start just putting bouncing betties, claymore, sentry guns on spawn locations to see if we can block it. And if that works, maybe in game in the moment we can fix them. But right now it's bad. It's very, very bad. Moving on, like I had just previously mentioned, 6v6 to me is very slow and boring. I'm used to playing 9v9 on MW2. Some of those maps are made for like more 9v9. Like Derail, it's fun, so slow. I can't tell you how many matches we've had against or through all game modes where we're going to the like time limits, TDM, kill confirm, hardpoint. We're not getting score limits, we're hitting time limits, which is not a good thing. Now, this can be fixed when 9v9 or 10v10 drops, because it's supposed to drop. It'll fix it. But until then, like I'm here just grinding the slowness. It's really boring. And I don't know how y'all feel about that. Let me know. Do y'all find it boring? So I have to substitute it with hardpoint to have to deal with bad spawns. I tried hopping in one match of war. That was painful. War in this game compared to World War II, I do not like. Like war in World War II to me was okay. War in this game is just annoying and stupid. Like I was getting spawn killed as the defender. And I don't understand how that's happening, because we should have a little bit of a safe spawn like we did in World War II, but somehow I'm getting spawn killed. So I quit the game before I could even finish it. Like I was 3 minutes into the match and I was like, okay, cool. I'm getting spawn killed in a mode I shouldn't be. I'm done. Next up, a lot of the weapons feel useless. And I don't know if this is just because they're trying to balance things out. I feel like this is about to be an assault rifle and sniper game. Like even the LMGs feel too weak. Leveling up, I guess the PKM, I'm going to call it the first LMG. It actually feels quite weak for an LMG that has that slow rate of fire. Like the damage profile, I feel like if it's going to be in the game, should be like the M60 or RPD from previous games. But it's not. So it doesn't feel that usable. And I've had to level it up twice already, and it doesn't feel good. It's one of those guns like the rest that once I get the Interstellar camo, I'm just not going to use it anymore. There's so many guns in MW2 that I did that with. Like the gun doesn't feel good. It doesn't have the damage profile. It's not meta. So there's no point in using it. And I feel like there's a handful of guns in this game, and there's already not that many guns. I think there's only 36 total MW3 weapons. Like at that point, if I'm only using 3 guns the entire lifespan, unless they drop more, what's the point? Like the gun balance doesn't feel like it's there. It doesn't feel like a lot of guns are just useful. And then leading on to the next topic, it's like the time to kill versus the time to die is just not balanced. Like y'all might be able to agree, like how many times are you shooting a player and it feels like they just won't die? Like the time to kill is way too high. Now they've increased health in this game to 150. So a lot of people are saying that the time to kill is way too high, but yet you're dying in the blink of an eye. It's almost like we have bad servers. We're having bullet stack issues where the damage is stacking on top of itself so that it drops you immediately. So time to kill versus time to die is not equal. They're way out of whack. And could skill-based matchmaking be playing a part on this with the time to die, with the connection not being prioritized? Possibly. It's legitimately possible. Like, I don't understand that. It doesn't make for fun gameplay. And then I guess the last thing, which might be a nitpick for me, but might be something that other people don't care about, the lack of new maps in this game. And I know the whole thing was pitched almost like Modern Warfare 2 remastered, right? All 16 original maps coming back remastered. And I played these maps all the way up until this game's released, even a couple months before on MW2. So like for people who haven't been doing that, cool. But some of these maps have already been brought back many times. And it kind of sucks that there's really nothing new. You can claim the ground war map. You can claim the war map. The war map is just a lot of COD 4 maps pieced together with alterations added to it. And then the ground war map isn't particularly fun. I don't know about you, but I played the ground war map once, and it's just everybody's on top of objects sniping. So you using normal guns is kind of like on the ground, out of the question. You can use vehicles, I guess. It's just weird because Modern Warfare 19's ground war was actually kind of fun and playable, but for some reason 22 and 23, I have zero desire to play it, and I don't know why. but I just don't find it to be particularly fun. I don't know what may have been altered between. For those of you who grind Ground War, you could probably let me know down in the comment section below. But I wanted new maps right off the rip. I've been craving new maps because I kind of said during MW2 they've been prepping us with all the remakes and the reuse so that when this game drops, we would be perfectly fine with remakes. And what's disappointing to me is, I know Season 1 hasn't launched yet, but they're already putting MW2 maps into MW3. Like, we're getting Farm, Crown Raceway, Shoot House, and Las Almas. Is that because Ranked needs 4 stable maps with stable spawns? Is that the reason why they're bringing it back? I mean, people can just go play MW2 and play those maps. What's going on? Like, I want new stuff, and I'm starting to get concerned that all of MW3 is just going to be remakes and rehashes. If War already has COD 4 maps pieced together, then that means most likely those COD 4 maps are going to be coming to multiplayer. Sledgehammer's already teased that a lot of we're going to have like an Advanced Warfare season, so I'm expecting 3 of those maps to come back. They said that we're supposed to be getting, up to 12 new maps during the entire year's run. But how many old maps are coming back is my legitimate question. I miss the days of MW3 2011, where almost everything was new. I think there was a couple maps that were rehashes or remakes, which is fine. Okay, I think it was, Liberation was kind of like Wasteland redone. But it didn't feel that way. You had to go and look and dig to see if it's the same thing. But just the lack of really anything new is kind of disappointing. I see a handful of people are enjoying this, and I'm happy you're enjoying this. But as I've seen on Twitter, as I've said on stream, this game feels purely like nostalgia bait. Like, their expectations wasn't going to be met, and they just need to try to get old players back if they can try to, get the whales spending as much money as they can, and just hope that it all works out. And for those of you who go, well, you've been begging for Modern Warfare 2 remastered all these years and you finally get it and you're mad. Let's be really clear. Very, very clear. This is not Modern Warfare 2 2009 remastered. This is taking assets from what could have been the remastered and using them in a way that is to nostalgia bait us to buy this game. Like most of these maps, their proportions do not feel the same way as the old maps. Wasteland, for example, feels tiny. Favela feels smaller. Other maps feel larger. Somehow Estate feels bigger. And I can't put my finger on it, and it feels off. But then again, like I said, I've been grinding the old maps. For people who haven't, you're possibly fine with this. But like, when you start adding in all of these things, it just feels like this was made to be a DLC, which it clearly was. Like, I know Activision keeps pushing it. It was clearly made to be a DLC, and they just wanted to get that $70 out of people, so they made it its quote-unquote own game. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm not having fun with this game. Maybe the player count's too low, because I'm seeing a lot of the super casuals, like in real life, saying that they're not buying this game. It doesn't look good. It looks like a DLC. They're not paying for it. It's not something that they think they would enjoy, especially after MW2 was what it was, right? And when I'm saying that, I'm saying, like, families, co-workers who don't like watch YouTube religiously, don't watch stream religiously, or it's not always in Twitter. They're like not in the sphere. They're just a casual, I'm buying COD, I'm gonna play it with friends. They're like, and I have questioned them. They're like, yeah, we're just not buying it. It doesn't look fun. And MW2 was so bad. We'll just stick with Warzone since it's free. That's usually what they say. They're like, the game really doesn't look good this year. I'm just going to get Warzone. And if the uber casuals are saying that, the game's not going to have a good atmosphere. It's not going to have a good lifespan, and skill-based matchmaking might feel worse. So I guess time will tell. But as of right now, my review is this game is maybe a percentage point better than MW2, if not just on the exact same level as it, for different reasons. Like, MW2 was just bad. Infinity Ward refused to listen to us, but Sledgehammer has been quote listening to us, but it's nothing that's substantially changing and changing quickly. And just remember, we had them with Vanguard. In Vanguard, they gave us what we wanted within the first couple weeks of the game's release, and then we got ghosted for 2 months. Thanksgiving vacation, Christmas vacation, and a couple weeks into January. It wasn't until the season that came out after New Year's that, like, stuff was kind of getting altered. So remember that. We got ghosted. They gave us what we want, and then they ghosted us. So I'm hoping this is not the case. I'm hoping that they're working on overhauls. We have the experimental playlist with the outlines. Okay. But we need to do more. We need to see more change. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just having a bad experience. I know my friend group, like I can't even play with everybody in the friend group because skill-based matchmaking is so tough. If I want to unlock items in the game, that's the thing that pisses me off. I just want to unlock items. I have to win and sweat. Why would anybody want to do that? Why? So I can't play with everybody. I have to be selective. I have to pick the people who like gives me the best chance of winning a match so I can unlock my crap. So probably what I'm going to do over Thanksgiving break is when I'm away, take my laptop and just grind zombies and see if I can unlock everything so we can get bypast that, because this is not fun. So Modern Warfare 3, the review right now is it's bad. If any casuals are sitting on the fence, try it on your free-to-play weekends. See if you like it then, and then purchase it. It's definitely not a $70 game. It's maybe worth $30 at best on a good day. But yeah, I can't recommend it to anybody right now. So I'll keep grinding it. We're going to go for Interstellar camo. Maybe I'll go for Zombies camo. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see y'all guys later. Peace.